Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, today we're going to talk about something incredibly important because I'm pretty sure we found what they're going to do with gun control and how they're going to try their best to accomplish it. I think the plan just revealed itself fully, and we're going to talk about that in this video. So I need you guys to share this video, but more importantly, let me know what you guys think, because I think we're onto something. I'm going to need you to watch the whole video. I'm going to keep it under about 5 to 6 minutes and lay it out exactly as I saw it, because my gut and my alarm bell start going off today. And I'm not going to waste any more time with an intro. Let's dive right into it. Everything is linked in the description box below for your review, but I think this is incredibly important, okay? So here's some background that you guys need to know. I did a video previously, a couple months ago, about something called the Byrd Rule, B-Y-R-D. It is basically a rule in the Senate that says what can and cannot be done through a process called reconciliation. Now, reconciliation is limited to budget items in the Senate, okay? That's what the whole thing is. Now, that's the backstory. Watch that video, then you'll have a good understanding. I also want to go through history over the last 10 to 15 years. The biggest piece of Democratic legislation, the one thing that they wanted above all, was healthcare that's paid for by the government. But they couldn't get it done through legislative process, through the Senate, and through the House, and the presidency. So what they did was they passed it under reconciliation, the ACA, the Affordable Care Act. That is history, that is fact. They made it a budgetary item, and then they passed it straight through the Senate under reconciliation because they didn't have 51 votes. They had 50. Harry Reid did it. It's precedent. It's happened. Okay? Now let's talk about gun violence and gun control and what they're doing now, because this is crucial. Health costs of gun violence exceed $1 billion a year, the GAO says. That's the Government Accountability Office. Democrats are using the data to press for stronger background checks portraying firearm industries as a public health issue. Now, I get what this article is saying, and this is from left-leaning Politico. Like we said, look what they're actually saying and what they mean. Don't just read the words, okay? They're saying they're going to lean on to make background checks possible, but that's not what this is. If you don't believe me, check this out, because they're going to put guns in a budget bill. How they were going to do it was a question. This article leans that way. I'm telling you, listen to this. Treating firearm-related injuries in the U.S. costs more than $1 billion annually, with public health programs like Medicaid picking up the most of the tab, according to new Government Accountability Office estimates shared with Politico. Medicaid is a publicly funded item that is published under Senate accountability budget stuff, which can be under reconciliation. They're tying gun violence to Medicaid, which makes it a budget line item. That's what's happening here. You see where I'm going? Let me know in the comments below, because this is important. The report, which was requested by Democrats, by the way, the report, the first of its kind from the watchdog agency, is based available data on caring for people who suffer non-fatal gun injuries each year. It's expected to fuel Democrats' call for expanding background checks amid a stalemate on gun control legislation. It's not going to do anything to background checks. What it's going to do is make it a health item. We've talked about that a lot on this channel. San Jose, California, the public who owns guns are paying for all the public health issues. They're saying it's a federal health crisis. Biden comes out in April and says, here's my executive actions on research around the impact, financially and fiscally, on individuals. Health. That's where they're going. That's what they're angling at. Check this out. It keeps going on. Congress must do whatever it takes, including abolishing the filibuster if necessary, to address this public health crisis, said New York Rep. Carolyn Maloney, chair of the House Oversight and Reform Committee, who led the coalition requesting the GAO study. So she requests this information, she gets the information, and now she's using it to attack the filibuster, make gun violence and gun rights a budgetary concern, which can be done with 50 votes in the Senate, not with the required 60 under the filibuster. But just for good measure, she's going to attack the 60 filibuster because she just doesn't like it, even though Democrats use it in deadly effect during the Trump administration. But I digress. I'm getting spicy, guys. Getting spicy. All right. The House Appropriations Committee is set to mark up a bill on Thursday that doubles the National Institute of Health's budget for firearm injury and mortality prevention research to $25 million. Now, $25 million in the budget scheme is not that big in the United States. However, it's doubling. They're putting gun violence in a health category. It's not long until it becomes a budget line item for reconciliation. This is the plan. I know you guys see it. Let me know in the comments below. And this is what Ed Markey alongside Senator Elizabeth Warren, said, "These findings pave the way for Congress to take up and pass evidence-based solutions to tackle the scourge of gun violence," said Senator Ed Markey, Democrat, Massachusetts. Interesting. How exactly? How exactly? If these Ed Markey, Elizabeth Warren, all these radicals want to get rid of guns, how does this report actually help them in that end goal? Because it's translating guns into something that they can vote in reconciliation with 10 less senators than they have now. This may not be done tomorrow, this may not be done in a month or a year, but they are positioning this to be able to be done in reconciliation just like the Affordable Care Act did, because health care is not a budget concern until you make it a budget line item, and then it can be voted on with less senators. That's where they're going, and this is probably the biggest threat to our gun rights that I've seen in a while, because it's coming full circle. Now they're putting numbers and they're tying it to Medicaid, which is then tied to a Senate vote on reconciliation. This is big, guys, because how long until they sneak something in and say, well, it's a public health crisis, guess you can't have your rights. This is one you sound the alarm on. Let me know what you guys think in the comments field below. And until tomorrow, I'm Braden. See you later.